Kick it.
This is day 2 coverage of the Consumer Electronics Show from Las Vegas, Nevada. My name's Andy McCaskey from the Slashdot Review podcast. I'm providing some of the coverage along with my partner.
And I'm Todd Cochrane of the Geek News Central podcast. Now, you may notice we're in a little different setting tonight, but we wanted to let you all know that we stayed at Las Vegas Convention Center till it was really late. We were dark outside. We had to come back and put this together here in the hotel room. So we're quite in an ambient situation. Don't you say, Andy?
Yeah, it's a little bit different from what we had before. Big change when you go to the main hall. We were in the South Hall today, moving from the Sands, which is a smaller venue, into one that just has a lot more activity, takes a lot more time to get things done, and of course, once you get late in the day, you get caught on the bus at the wrong time, and everything takes just longer than what you had expected. But we really had a good day today, and I found some products that I thought were of interest that I would nominate as our product of the day, and I believe that, Todd, you found some as well.
I did. I guess the first product that I found today was a actual product that hasn't been released. It's in beta. They had their demonstration or their demo up at their booth, and it's from a company called Tune Up Media, and you can find them at tuneupmedia.com. Now, I know many of you have large music libraries, and many of you probably have music libraries that are really not very organized. I think I could probably go over to my machine right over here, and we would find maybe 1,000 or more files that were not organized. But anyway, what TuneUp Media does is they have a program that runs in conjunction with iTunes that will go in and really clean up that mess most of us have in our media library. Go in and pull out all that metadata from Gracenote, who they have partnered with. And once you go through and use their program, it cleans it up, adds the album art, puts all the metadata in, changes the titles from like AC-DC, AC/DC to what it's supposed to be. Andy, have you got any of those?
Well, yeah, except it would be Stones, the Rolling Stones, and so forth. But it was a really cool program. I have to admit that it was. I had we of course went to see our friends at D-Link, and Todd kind of split up in one direction. I went in another, and I ended up in a really interesting section, a product called Secure Spot. And here's the situation. I know that a number of you have several machines in your house. And if you have kids in your home that are in various ranges, you might have a teenager or two, some people in junior high school, a couple of elementary age kids, or maybe a son or daughter who's home from college momentarily. When you get this scattered out across, say, 5 machines, you have some problems in the management of that if you want to keep things on the up and up. And not only that, if just simply protecting yourself against malware and viruses and so forth, it's a real task. And of course, there are software applications that can help you in this management task, and you go ahead and install that on each of the machines. But D-Link has a really unique hardware application. It's a combination of hardware and a service. And this service, very simply, is called Secure Spot. This enables you to control devices one time through a web interface so that you could come in and establish privileges, access privileges for each machine by name on your network. And then it automatically pushes the malware protection, the virus protection to each of those machines. The other thing, which I thought was particularly interesting, there's a lot of devices in your house that are internet capable that you don't think of as, you're looking, as a parent, you're looking and thinking computer. But things like Wii controllers, or now have internet access and browsers. iPhone, yes, has capability, as well as the PlayStation Portable. And your 14-year-old knows how to access sites on that. And so this enables you to provide a level of supervision within your family. And the way that it's set up, it's a subscription-based service. It's about $15 a year per machine. But when you think about that, that's less than $2 a month. And just the work that you would have going and putting AdAware or something like that and running it, or making sure that virus scanners are updated, it's going to save you a lot of work. So I thought it was a great value.
I think the thing that was really amazing was just how easy the interface was. And it was obvious that many people get into routers and they get scared and they don't know exactly what to do, but it looked like it was a solution that would be real easy for people to manage. Well, while Andy was on one side of a counter, I was on the other, and it's very rare that we find two products in the same booth. Yeah, it's kind of strange. And I guess my product that I found it was one of these digital photo frames, and people are like, "Well, Todd, what's up with the digital photo frame? And there's there are a dime a dozen throughout the floor." Well, what I found with the one that D-Link has got prototyping, this is another device that's not on the market yet, coming out in Q2 '08, is this device. When I came to it, I saw a menu items on the actual screen itself, and I seen a gentleman monkeying around with a remote control. So I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, I see there's a menu on here. What is this?" He says, I can control the photo frame through a remote control. I can either put up weather conditions, I can put up drive conditions, I can have RSS feeds subscribed to, so they can have rolling news, or subscribe to Slashdot or Geek News Central. Also had media from Flickr, media from his actual library on his computers, all controlled through an interface that they have through D-Link. And I was like, wow, this is cool, because not only will the photo frame show photos, but you can have it on the wall. And in the morning, at least in Hawaii, when you got to get out and drive the kids to school, which we do, we want to see which the best traffic way is. And I would love to get up in the morning and be able to click that and automatically get the drive condition. So very cool product, again, coming out in Q2 '08.
I think mobility is really a trend or a theme that we see in large places at CES. And, of course, mobility in many people's minds is based upon the iPod. And the folks at Creative have a really interesting product called the xDock HD. And xDock HD is a way to take your iPod and put it into a docking system that takes the video and upconverts it to HD content that's displayable on a plasma.
Someone would say HD content from an iPhone? You got to be kidding, right?
Well, yes, yeah, you do. and the iPhone itself actually has I asked that question. The iPhone gives priority to the phone itself. So if the media is there and a call comes in, it's going to interrupt that. So it will work, but it's probably not the best application. But they were demonstrating today today they were demonstrating 720p 720p video that was coming off of that. But the flexibility that enables you to enjoy your media on a portable device and then share with the family is really quite impressive. They also had, coupled with that, remote sound. And I was confused when I came in. I thought it was a way of installing surround sound without having to put in cables. That's not really the application. The application is being able to extend the sound from your media center in your family room and move speakers wirelessly within 100 feet of that. So you could have the sound of a movie that's being played in your family room could also be out on the patio, or it could be by the pool, or up in the bedroom.
With no wires.
With no wires, and the ability to have that portability. So that's really quite a good product, and I think that's going to be a real winner for them.
The thing I was surprised about this product, the xDock HD from Creative, was that here I was watching a video, and I was literally pretty surprised that the video was as good as it was, because you would assume You know, what are we doing when we're creating videos? Even for this show, we're going to be shrinking it down for a size that will fit on a portable media device and also the internet. So that go the reverse route and go up to an HD TV where the video was great. I was really surprised. The final product that I found during the show is not necessarily a consumer product. It's probably a prosumer product, and it's a product it's called a Steadicam. And I'll have a link up in the show notes for this, and also we'll put up a picture during the processing of this video tonight. But what the Steadicam is a device that essentially a lady or a man can wear a harness and wear this device that goes around their belt, and it's basically it mounts. It's a kind of a platform where a camcorder can sit on, and it allows you to essentially kind of go hands-free when you need to with the camcorder. And you could actually jog, and then that's how they were demonstrating it. They were lightly jogging, and the camcorder stayed, relatively still. And what it is just a camera stabilization device. Not on the cheap side, but definitely on the way cool side. I'd love to have one. I'm sure if one showed up at my house, my wife would freak out, and she'd say, well, what did you get that for? But it is definitely a device that will allow people to shoot video in a very stable environment, and there won't be any more of this jerking around when you're shooting video on the move.
Well, the reason it showed up at your house is so that you could come and cover CES for Tech Podcast Network. Yeah. We did see some future products, though. Yeah. One of the most exciting ones was the Alienware display.
Really
that
awesome.
Actually being showed in the Dell. Yeah. Actually being showed in the Dell area.
They wouldn't tell us what was inside, though.
Oh, they were very closed-mouthed about it, but it was impressive. It was if you can imagine, 3 flat-screen displays, kind of in a surround sort of curved environment, but it looked to me like it was DLP technology. It was almost like you had 3 projectors coming at you, but some serious stuff going on from a graphics card standpoint, because it would interstitch the 3 panels.
I think it's 4. Didn't it?
Well, maybe it's 4. Maybe
yeah.
It was, but it was a curved surface, and that's going to be a tremendous gaming application here. That's going to be coming up. I think they said at mid-year they would have some more details. That was more in the technology demo area within the Dell region.
Definitely a product for a hardcore gamer. But I was thinking about it. It'd be cool for anyone that wanted to have productivity with. Obviously people are buying more than one flat screen now and kind of joining them together at an angle. But this was like a concave of continuous video screens and was definitely very impressive. Well, Andy and I have discussed this essentially on the bus ride back on which. Oh, you got one more?
I got one more.
Oh, okay. What you got?
Well, I found that that my education, at least in the keyboard monitor switching area, was about 6 years out of date. Because
Andy, you're an engineer. You're not supposed to be out of date.
Well, I know, but I haven't been focusing in this area because I had a couple of VGA monitors just switching back and forth and so forth, and of course things have changed. That DVI is now the graphic standard, not VGA. I didn't realize that when you move to larger displays, you'll begin to get aliasing if you have a low bandwidth connection. In fact, there's a dual channel DVI, and so the folks at IO Gear now have a KVM switch that is intended for dual channel DVI, and it's really quite interesting in that they have put a USB 2.0 port on the thing, so you can share those sorts of assets from one machine to another, as well as surround sound.
Did they say what that retailed for, Andy?
I believe they did, but I can't recall. That was way early this morning. That was the first interview in the day, and that's a little foggy, quite honestly, at this point.
All of these companies that we've talked about have been featured. We've actually recorded interviews with them, and they will be published later, both on Andy's site at slash.review.com, my site at Geek News Central, and of course over at the Tech Podcast Network at techpodcast.com. And we'll release those little by little, probably starting after the show. So don't fret if we've talked about these companies and you want to see this gear live. Definitely you want to check out our feeds and continue to watch the update. So yes, while we're on the bus, as once again we revisit this subject, we did pick out the pick of the day, and we try to be very competitive in finding out what the pick of the day is going to be. But we did decide on one show, but one of us found one of those picks of the day, and we're going to have to flip for it to see who's actually going to get to describe it. But I think it's my turn to flip, Andy.
It is, and when we're able to. This is a great source for our blooper reel, but since this is running continuously, you might get to see several attempts. So,
actually,
Todd?
You're going to have to call it while it's in the air in case I drop it.
Okay. So I just look on the floor.
There, it'll be there, but let's see if I can do this. Oh,
all right.
You didn't call it.
Heads.
Ah, you lost. So you have to describe our pick of the day.
Okay, Todd. Well, our pick of the day. Our pick of the day is Tune-Up Media. Tune-Up Media. That was absolutely one of the most innovative products, a very affordable product, and it solves a real problem that I'm almost confident that you have in your collection of musical works and tunes.
Andy, you're going to have to try harder to find a better product tomorrow.
Tomorrow. That's right. We've got a really aggressive schedule. We have two events that we need to attend here this evening. I have a regular show to put up, and we're looking forward to it. We're having fun. I hope you're having a chance to look at the back channel that is present on Todd's site at Geek News Central and at slash.review.com. That shows kind of what goes on behind the scenes, and if that's kind of the reality TV component to our coverage here for Tech Podcast Network. I might mention that what you got?
We're going to go to the pick of the day, and so I want to thank you all, and we'll be back, though, with our next week, I guess, tomorrow's coverage, right?
Yep.
And, gosh, it has been a long day. We haven't slept very much. So everyone have a great time with the content. And, of course, check out techpodcast.com, geeknewscentral.com, and slash.review.com. All right, folks, continuing coverage here at the Consumer Electronics Show. I got Gabe from Tune Up Media, and I've got a hot one for you. How many of you have got 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 songs on your iTunes playlist or in Windows Media? And how many of you have that all organized? My stuff's really organized. Gabe, how are you going to help me?
Well, we've created a solution to this problem. I, like you, have this problem that I have huge music collection, a lot of tracks in my collection with bad or missing metadata. So it's, artists spelled in many different ways, missing track names, that horrible track 07 that we all have sort of lurking in the bottom of our collection. And we've created an application that solves that. As well as solves that, it brings a lot of other value to your music collection as well. So what we've done is work very closely with Gracenote, whose booth we're in here, to leverage their music ID technology to solve the solution. I can show you a demo right here if you'd like.
Sure, I'm going to switch over.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let's do it from this side.
Tell me where to stand.
Just so he can see the screen. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
All right, terrific. So this is the Tune-Up Companion.
Just demo and I'll hold the
All right,
mic.
great, terrific. And what you do is you download this application. This application is about 10 megs. You download it once, and then every time you use iTunes, the application will come up, okay? And it locks right into the side of iTunes. So first what we do is we analyze your collection. And what you're seeing here is a quick snapshot of your collection. It lets you know how clean or dirty your collection is. And after it does that, and it does this based on missing artist, track titles, genre information, album cover art, and the like. And then once you do that, what we've created here is the first totally intuitive drag and drop method of being able to clean up bad metadata. This here is a perfect example of what a lot of our collections look like. Missing artist, album, genre, year information, the track information not being exactly where we want it to be. So what I do is simply drag and drop into the tune-up sidebar. This is the clean feature, and I'll walk through some of the other features as well. And what you're going to see here in a minute is that it's registering the tracks. You hit the start button, and it's actually gathering waveform signatures for each of these individual tracks. And what used to look like this is now going to look like this, all right? So I'm going to do a quick search on Devo here, and you're seeing the dirty data here. We're going to hit the clean button, and what you're going to see is these tracks start to disappear. And what used to look like that is now totally clean. You have artist, album, genre, and year information. We actually have an auto-clean function that's going to be working as well, where you just hit one button and it goes through your entire collection and cleans all that up. Not to mention that it finds missing album cover art as well. And that'll make more sense as I walk you through some of the other features.
You know, one of the things that happens to a lot of people is they load iTunes maybe the first time, they start importing their library, and iTunes just does its own thing with that library.
Right.
And it just, you know, if you've got a naming convention already set up, it just destroys it. So go ahead and talk how you guys are handling that, and also...
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, that falls into the issue of, you know, these sort of power users that have their own naming conventions and that. Within advanced settings, you'll be able to set all of that. So it absolutely does not affect any settings that you already have. On top of that, we have an undo feature. So if there's anything that we've named the way you don't want it to be named, you simply hit the undo button and it'll go back to the way it was named before.
Very cool. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the other cool thing that we're doing is we're scanning your entire music collection and letting you know whenever anyone in your collection is coming to town. We all have this issue of being like, darn, you know, I missed this concert that came through one of my favorite bands.
Story of my life.
Right? I mean, mine too. Traumatized by that, you know, in high school where everyone would show up the next day with a concert t-shirt and we didn't have it. We don't want that to happen to anyone. With this tune-up concert feature, you'll never miss another concert again. Scans your entire collection, lets you know when they're coming to town, and you can actually buy tickets through this application as well and store them to your calendar and invite friends and that sort of thing. The other very cool feature that we're bringing to the table is what we call our Explore feature. So now I have all this great clean metadata, and I'm listening to Devo. What we've done is taken the best of what the web has to offer and bringing it into the context of iTunes. So rather than go and find your YouTube videos on your favorite bands in YouTube, you can actually do it right through iTunes passively. You listen to the track, we present it, and you can watch it directly in here. Not to mention album recommendations and all sorts of other cool things. The very cool thing about our Explore tab is we're actually going to be opening up these APIs so developers create their own little widgets to pop in here as well. Imagine guitar tabs, chords, and that sort of thing as well. So basically the best of what the web has to offer, we bring right into the context of your iTunes experience.
So I'm going to guess here that you're giving this away for free,
and
then you guys are, by providing all the good metadata and the tie-ins, you guys are monetizing through the ticket sales and that type of stuff?
That's a great question. There's a number of ways to do it. We have a free version that'll always be free, but that's going to limit the number of files you can clean. We're still working on how many that is. Substantial enough for a decent-sized collection, probably not enough for a huge collection. For a price point that's very reasonable, either a subscription at probably about $12 a year, $1 a month, or a lifetime fee for between $20 and $25, you'll be able to clean everything all the time. Otherwise, the free version will let you clean up, you know, a number of files a month, share it on Facebook, we'll give you more files to clean up, email it to your friends, we'll give you more files to clean up, and keep cleaning it up. But we'll be monetizing that through advertising and that sort of thing, sponsorships.
So for those that are adding to their libraries all the time, hopefully legally, that they, that's going to give them good metadata. It's tied in with GraceNote. In GraceNote, they've got a great library of database information.
Clear, they've absolutely set the industry standard in metadata. They have a waveform signature database of 15 million tracks right now and growing every week. There's a very clear and concise reason that we've attached ourselves to GraceNote in the context of the clean feature. They have the best that's out there.
Where can consumers and music fans find your product?
Well, they can find it at tuneupmedia.com. They'll be able to download it. We actually go live at the end of February. In the meantime, you can sign up for our upcoming beta at the website. Again, it's tuneupmedia.com. And we're actually thinking about offering a discounted price for pre-orders. So keep an eye out in the next couple weeks for that as well.
Outstanding. So tuneupmedia.com. It's not released yet, but you can sign up for the beta and get that early special. That's always good, too.
Yeah, we like that.
Gabe, thanks for spending some time with me tonight. Yep.